Hi guys, we're here to catch up on Flawless by Elsie Silver, and where we left off yesterday, it was getting super hot and spicy, so we're gonna jump right back into it. And like I always say, there's gonna be certain words I'm not gonna say out loud. You can read them. But anyways, happy Tuesday, and we left off on chapter 21, Rhett. I dropped the can of cream on the carpet right as the heavy door clicked shut behind us, and all bets are off. My entire body hums with need. For her. Ruin me. She told me to ruin her. The only thing I'm going to ruin for her is any other man. I'm going to give her a night she'll never get over, a night that will keep her coming back for more. I push her against the closed door, the brim of my hat on her head brushing against my face as I swoop in to taste her lips. But this time, it's not for show. This time, it's because she told me this is how she want to go out, kissing me. And fuck, a statement like that is a powerful drug. I kiss her like my life depends on it, like hers does too. We latch onto each other, her arms curling around my neck while mine roam her body. It's a desperate sort of kiss, full of angst and longing. She seems rushed, like she thinks that this might end. Like there's a time limit on this thing we're doing. I pull back just a little, cupping the base of her head, her hair silky beneath my hand, her breathing labored, her breath sweet like sugary cream, hands still feverishly tugging at me. Stop rushing, princess. We've got all night. Save your energy. You're going to need it. Fuck, she whispers as she sucks in a sharp breath. Let me show you. I'm going to take my time with you. I murmur before taking her lips slowly, swallowing the sweet little humming noise she makes. Feeling her arms soften, hands tracing across my shoulders. Her nails drag and a shiver races down my spine. I don't know what this is between Summer and me, but I want to worship her at her throne. I want to give her the best of everything, the best of me. She slides her tongue against mine, and I taste the whipped cream I just made her swallow. Even with my eyes closed, I can see the way her throat worked. The way she swallowed it, the way I told her to. It's burned on the back of my eyelids. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. I slide my hand down the curve of her body. My thumb... Okay. I kiss just beside her mouth. Rhett. My name on her lips. Fuck, it's a prayer, it's a plea, it's a goddamn undoing. I kiss her cheek. I thought I got off on hearing fans scream my name from the stands. I kissed her temple, but hearing you moan it, she tilts her head, giving me more access, asking for more. Hearing you moan it is so much more satisfying. I kiss the spot just below her ear, and she squirms against me. She goes all breathy and moans my name again. Rhett. You like that? I nip at her ear. It's the beard. It feels so good. I've never had that before. The girl who is usually so put together and well-spoken is a puddle, all because of my beard. Her neck isn't safe tonight. Neither are her inner thighs. I chuckle and drag my teeth down the side of her throat, fueled by her moans, by her hips rocking toward me, by her fingers in the back of my hair. My fingers land at the waistband of her tight fucking jeans and reach in to tug her shirt out. I instantly squeeze the taper of her waist, her smooth, warm skin, noting the strap of whatever sexy fucking panties she's wearing coming up over her hip in the most alluring way. And then I'm pushing the white shirt up over her head, wanting it off as quickly as possible, wanting to see what she's hiding underneath this well put together exterior. Her arms raised, and as the shirt clears her head, my hat topples to the ground at her feet. But I leave it there, just to take in Summer propped against the door, wild hair, chest heaving. Straps of matching lace panties wedged up high over her jeans. She looks a little unsteady and a lot desperate, totally disheveled. And I love this look on her. I crouch quickly to swipe the hat in the can before replacing the hat on her head. My hat. I groan and shut my eyes at the fucking... Okay. You should see yourself right now. Her teeth dig into her puffy bottom lip, really completing the whole look. So fucking pretty. Please don't stop. Wasn't planning on it, just admiring the view. Lose the shirt. I chuckled. There she is, my bossy girl. I stepped closer, crowding her against the door. You want it off? Do it yourself. An expression of defiance flashes across her face, but within moments she relents. Her small hands reach for the buttons of my shirt, and she nimbly works the first couple through the holes. When she peeks up at me with that little smirk on her lips, I know she's about to pull something naughty. She grips my shirt and rips. Buttons fly all around us. She seems amused until I yank her bra down, the sound of lace ripping loud in the quiet room. Hey! She starts, but her bare are exposed in front of me, all soft and full. The neon lights from the shitty bar across the street cast a blue glow in the room that adds to her ethereal beauty. Even the scar down the center of her chest suits her, a battle scar, a testament to how hard she's fought, how fucking strong she is. I'm absolutely starstruck. That bra was La Perla. You owe me. I shut her up by spraying a circle of whipped cream over her. Instead of reaming me out, she swaps to moaning and running her hands through my hair. When I drop my head, okay. Okay, read the rest of that page to 25. Okay, when I straighten and drop the can on the floor, I cut and grin down at her. I thought you hated milk, she huffs out, all glassy-eyed and eager. I'm developing a taste for it. I growl as I lift her up, pressing her into the door and kissing her again. Her legs wrap around my waist, squeezing my hips as she steers me with a kiss, my hat toppling off her head to her feet. All I can taste is whipped cream and cherries, and all I can smell is her. All I want is her, which is how I find myself carrying her across the blue-lit hotel room with long, sure strides, ignoring the twinge in my shoulder, because who needs a fucking shoulder with a girl like this? And tossing her down on the bed, her dark hair shimmering out around her, like rays of sunshine of her sweet, freckled face. We pause for a second, her splayed out across my bed while I stand entranced between her knees. This is the moment where we fully consider if we're about to do this. Do you want me, princess? I ask as I tug a boot off each of her feet. Her lips part and she stares back at me when I drop them on the floor with a heavy thud. Yes. I reach down and unbutton her jeans, stepping away only to drag them down her legs. Why? Because. I discard them and stare down at her, panties wedged high. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to read that. It's good though. I can tell you that much. Chapter 22, Summer. Okay. Okay, so we're at 237. Out loud, it sounds so insecure, but my heart can't take being broken again. It can't withstand a man like Rhett treating me like I'm nothing more than a roll in the hay. I don't know what it all means, but I know I want him to understand this isn't casual for me. I may not know what it is, but it's not that. He stares at me as though he's processing what I've just told him before he leans back over me, cupping my skull in his big hands with so much tenderness that my chest aches. You've got me, princess. Only you. I promise, he husks before kissing me. A consuming kiss. I taste myself on his lips and feel his beard on my cheeks. His hair drops around us, closing us into an intimate bubble, and I smile against his mouth because he's all around me right now. After a cool-down moment, my body heats again for him so easily, like I have a switch and he's the only one who knows where it's located. We exchange no more words as he gently lies me back down, keeping our bodies close as he does, kissing me as we go, dragging his mouth, his beard, until I'm squirming, whimpering mess beneath him. His face hovers over mine, his elbows drop onto the bed beside my head, and he stares into my eyes. Always staring, like if he blinks, I might disappear. The pad of his thumb swipes across my temple reverently, brushing a wispy lock of hair from my cheek. The blonde and okay. I've never wanted someone so badly in my life, I confess to him. His responding smile is soft, one I'm not sure I've ever seen on him. I think he crumbles a bit for me too, though. When we're both boneless and exhausted, he pulls me into the cradle of his body and holds me like he'll never let go. And when he feels how cold my feet are, he tangles his warm legs against them. Okay, chapter 23, Rhett. Kip, is everything okay? Neither of you have answered my text about your meeting with the Ariat guys. Rhett, yes, Daddy, everything is fine. Some of us sleep at night. Kip, I was worried she might have killed you. Just looking out for you, son. Rhett, she almost did. I sleep more comfortably than I have in, well, ever. Summer fits against me like she was made for me. I don't even mind her cold-ass feet. I wake up to pull her closer, or to thumb a piece of her silky hair, or to brush a feather-like kiss against those puffy lips. But it never really feels like waking up, just an extension of my blissful comfort. We smell like soap and minty toothpaste because, truthfully, we haven't been asleep for that long. It's the sensation of being watched that finally draws my eyes open in the already light room. Summer is wedged under my arm, hair a tangled mess, lips all swollen and pink, bare face sprinkled with freckles like sugar on top of a cupcake. When I meet her gaze, she doesn't look away. Is this when you kill me in my sleep? You mentioned that at one point. My morning voice is raspy, and so is her soft chuckle as I squeeze her tighter. You've been playing the long game this entire time, haven't you? You didn't have a teenage crush on me at all. You've been plotting my murder for over a decade. She nuzzles her face into my chest. Shut up. Her eyelashes sweep against my skin as her fingers swirl in my chest hair. Are you hiding from me, Summer? I fist her hair and give it a tug, forcing her chin up. I'm just working things out in my head. Yeah, well, I can't say I didn't see this coming. I knew she'd take off in the morning. All the people who I want to stay never do. It's the ones I can't get away from fast enough that hang around. The ones who want something from me. I grunt non-committally, feeling irrationally attached to Summer after getting naked for one night, which is brand spanking new for someone who only ever wants one night. Don't grunt at me, Rhett Eaton. I sigh and scrub my face, wanting to fall back into quiet, happy lull before this conversation started. What are you working out? She peeks up at me. Well, for starters, how to convince you to go again. My brows raise. Yeah? She grins. Yeah, but look at the time. You need to be at the arena for another interview and a meeting with the sponsor in 1 hour. I roll her on top of me, not caring at all about the fucking time, especially not when her legs straddle my waist, and she sighs like she knows she belongs there. Fuck the meetings. I grip her waist as she taps at her lip. I'm also trying to figure out how I'm going to continue sleeping with a client who only has one-night stands. Fuck one-night stands. My hands glide up over her ribs, pushing her breasts together. It would be unprofessional for me to continue, but she's smiling now, looking light and sweet and totally fuckable. Fuck professionalism, I growl, tweaking a nipple. Yes, well, Kip Hamilton might not share that sentiment. You're still a client, her eyes sober. Fuck Kip Hamilton, too. He's fired. Rhett. I silence her by sliding one hand up and pushing my thumb into her mouth, watching her lips part and the flesh of her pink tongue as I press down on it. If you keep talking about things that don't matter, we're going to run out of time to do things that do. She just nods and sucks my fingers. I grind my... Okay. The interview went well. Summer paces in front of me while I methodically tape my hands. Yep, I can hear the music and the cheering from the arena all the way back here in the locker room. And I think the guy from Wrangler seemed happy with what you were saying to them. From my periphery, I see her twisting her hands together. I pay special attention to my thumb. It still twinges from getting hung up a few weeks back. Plus, you do wear them well. I peek at her now, all serious and anxious looking. Was that a compliment? She furrows her brow. Yeah. Huh. I go back to rapping, lips tugging up as her fingers tap against the side of her thigh. I give you compliments, she tells me, like that somehow makes it true. Okay. I do. Her snakeskin boot stomps. Do you need me to gush over you like every other girl on tour? Or like every newscaster Barbie who interviews you? I grinned down at my hands. If Summer's jealousy were water, I'd want to bathe in it. No, princess. Watching you get jealous over me is victory enough for a simple man like me. Never knew I'd like that so much. You are downright adorable, all pink-cheeked and worked up like this. Ha, she barks loud in disbelief. That's rich coming from you. You practically carried me out of that bar last night. And I'd do it again. Emmett knows there are lots of great places to bury a body on my ranch. No one would ever find him again if he laid a hand on you. I chuckle, but Summer goes quiet. Her fingers tap on her legs again, which pulls my gaze up to her pretty face from where I'm seated on the bench. What's wrong? I kept you up too late last night. You should have been resting, getting ready for today. You're an athlete. You need to prepare. She chews on her bottom lip. She seems worried. Summer, I'm fine. Come here. I open one arm and she instantly steps across the ground, separating us, hugging me to her chest. I press my cheek to her sternum. I feel her heartbeat as her fingers slide through the ends of my hair. Be careful, okay? She whispers. Don't give me a heart attack out there. That joke is in real poor taste for you, Summer. She laughs, but it's thin, tiny. I hug her tighter and she leans down to press a kiss to the top of my head. Understanding dawns on me at what she's not saying, what we're both not saying. I can't, because if I went out there every weekend with even a small flickering of fear in me, I'd never get on that bull. Logic would take over, survival instincts, and I'd be done. But I've got those instincts strapped down tight. One more championship, and maybe I'll take my gold buckle and hang up my hat. Probably on Summer Hamilton's head. Okay, chapter 24, Summer. Kip, why did Rhett send me a text saying that I'm fired? Summer, he didn't. Kip, he did. It said, fuck professionalism and fuck you. You're fired. Summer, well, he's not wrong. That certainly isn't very professional. I don't think you're actually fired, though. Kip, of course I'm not fired. That asshole is stuck with me. Summer, how is your shoulder? Are you taping it? Do you want me to come tape it? Rhett, fine. Don't come back here. It smells like sweaty balls. Summer, thank you for the vivid description. I was reading about pulsed electromagnetic field therapy for rotator cuff injuries. Maybe we should try it? There's a physiotherapist in the city who does it. Rhett, I was kind of just hoping you'd give me more massages, but topless this time. Summer, I'll do that if you go to the appointment I scheduled for next week. Rhett, daily massages. Yeah. Summer, is your shoulder that bad? Rhett, no princess, it's just that good. Watching Rhett tonight has me wanting to hurl my $15 arena beer all over the people in front of me. Emmett went first and had a great ride, something I know Rhett saw because he was sitting on top of the gate with Theo watching. I saw the flash of competition in his eye. He spent all night with his... There's this tiny part of me that wishes he'd just hop off that fence and retire on the spot. I want him safe. I want him to win too, though. I want that for him. But I also want him for myself. It's fucking confusing. I've never worried about another person this way. And that's saying something, considering I've spent my entire life worrying about everyone around me. Theo hops down onto his bull now, giving Rhett a bit of an unhinged grin as he does. I watch Rhett talk to him as Theo rubs at his bull rope, nodding, listening. There's an intensity about their conversation right now that I haven't noticed before. Usually things are lighthearted and friendly between them, but tonight there's a definite mentor feel to their interaction. It's heartwarming and nerve-wracking all at once. The bull slams itself against the metal sides of the chute, and where I noticed Rhett back off in similar situations, Theo grins, drops his chin, and nods. The gate flies, and so does the bull, like a bat out of hell. Theo looks like a younger, smaller Rhett, spurs riding up every time the bull bears down. He rides like his life depends on it, and based on how riled his bull is and how many times it switches directions, I would say his life actually does depend on it. I barely know Theo, but I hold my breath all the same. On my nights spent sitting in the stands, I've seen other guys get head-butted and stepped on. I've seen them leave strapped down on a stretcher. In a lot of ways, it's hard to watch. In others, I can't tear my eyes away. So when Theo jumps off and tosses his hat in the air, I shoot up and cheer. The bull lopes out of the ring, chasing the clown, and Theo soaks up the cheers of the crowd. He scores himself a 90, which pushes him to the top of the standings for this weekend. When I look back over at the fence, Rhett is sitting there, grinning ear to ear. So damn proud, chest puffed out, pride spilling off him. Sorry. He also looks fucking delicious. Dark and mysterious with his hat pulled down low on his face, charcoal shirt under his bull riding vest, and those simple warm brown chaps. So good. When he hops down to go stretch and warm up, my momentary calm dissolves and the nerves creep in. I hate the feeling. I hate that I'm having it. I've come to terms with death in a lot of ways. Knowing that your time could come at any moment at such a young age does weird things to you. Somehow, the thought of me dying is easier to swallow than the thought of having to sit here in the stands while something might happen to Rhett. I don't want to be this girl, telling him not to take risks because my heart can't take it, so I push it down like he told me he does. I take a few big swigs of beer and let myself eavesdrop on the surrounding conversations, and when it's Rhett's turn, I take bigger gulps. I watch him every moment, absently aware that it could be the last. It's like time slows down. I see his cocky smile, the way his cheeks fold beside his mouth when he gives it. I can almost feel the raspiness of his beard on my neck just by watching him. He pulls at the bull rope, looking hypnotized, and I try to slip into that too. And then he does something he's never done. He peeks up at me from beneath the brim of his hat like he knew exactly where I was sitting. He winks at me, and then he nods, and the gates fly open. You were so close. The rippling of water sounds as Rhett swipes a face cloth over my back. This shitty hotel bathtub is too small for the two of us, but we're packed into it anyway. He told me if I'm going to continue to force him to take Epsom salt baths that I have to come in with him. So here I am, seated between his legs in the hottest, smallest bath known to man, while Rhett Eaton washes me and kisses me. This is how I want to go. If I'm going to lose to someone, it'd have to be Theo. Give him a year or two and he'll be winning left and right. So like a newer, shinier version of you? I tease, but it ends in a gasp when he wraps my hair around his fist and gives it a tug. Watch that pretty little mouth, Summer, he murmurs against my ear. He chuckles, making goosebumps race over my flesh skin. Or nothing, I'm out of condoms. I don't know if they taught you this at cowboy school, but I can't get pregnant from... Oh. Okay. It's not funny. I don't know what we're doing here, and I've spent years in school and tens of thousands of dollars on it to do this job. I don't know what I'm doing. I think you do. I think you're doing what you want for the first time in your life, and that's scary for you. Yeah, maybe. I think you don't need to worry about if I'm a client or not. I think that has nothing to do with what's between you and me. It's the perception, I try to say, but he interrupts me. What perception? Have you done this before? You planning to do it more in the future? Or does what's happened between us have nothing at all to do with what either of us do for work? Do you think if we'd met under different circumstances, it would be different? You might have been less of a growly prick to me, I say, trying to steer the conversation away from what feels like something bigger than what I'm ready to face. I'm serious, Summer. I'm not sure why you keep talking about our jobs like it matters. We're not doing anything wrong. I think Dr. Douche has you scared that there's something shameful about being with another person, that you need to hide something you don't. Well, shit, is he right? I flip through the mental Rolodex of my past relationships. I've never taken guys out with me, never introduced them to my family. Once Willis straight out asked me if I was gay before assuring me she'd be cool with that. Maybe the early input of thinking I needed to hide a relationship with genuine feelings made me believe that was true. Fuck. He squeezes me and nuzzles against the back of my head. I've always done whatever I want, never been big on what other people think I should be doing. I imagine a person somewhere in between the two of us would be ideal, because I probably burned a few bridges along the way. I snort at that. You're probably not wrong. I start to protest, but he cuts me off. What if you stop worrying about everything that could go wrong and just let yourself enjoy how right this feels? He presses a wet kiss to my back and my body comes alive as his callous palms slip over my soapy skin in the most sensual way. My head tips back and I sigh at the feel of him playing my body with such finesse. It does feel right. I'll burn more bridges to take a kick at the can with you, Summer. Give me a shot. My lashes open and close rapidly. My heart is flipping over something that my brain can't quite process. My can feels thoroughly kicked by everything he's just said. My tongue is also thoroughly tied. Rhett just leaves it, though, carrying on. You said once that you'd become a personal trainer? I go still. Did I mention that? I don't remember that. I do. I read between the lines. I've seen you work out. I've seen how hard you work and how reliable you are. If you could do anything as a job, would it be what you're doing right now? What Kip does? I roll my lips together, grateful that I don't have to face anyone right now. Probably not. My voice cracks when I confess it. Then why do you do it? Why keep up the charade? I exhale. It's not a charade. It's just, I enjoy seeing my dad happy. I know how proud he is of me. I know he likes having me at the office with him, even though he acts like a psycho prick sometimes. He fractured his family to keep me. He gave up so much, and when I got sick, he dropped everything to be with me every day. I just feel like living up to some of those things for him is the least I can do, you know? I just feel like, God, this sounds terrible to say, but I feel like it wasn't for me, his life would be so much easier. And if I can help him by being a part of the business he spent his life building, if I can carry that on for him, well, that's the least I can do to repay him. Rhett doesn't respond. He just keeps stroking my arm. I can't speak for Kit, only the way he's talked about you and your sister over the years in passing. And he may be a psycho prick, but he doesn't strike me as a type of man who expects repayment for time spent with his daughter. My eyes sting, and I nod. There's a little voice at the back of my people-pleasing head that's screaming, yes. I think I know deep down that Rhett is right, but facing that also means facing that I've spent the last several years of my life relentlessly chasing a dream that isn't actually my own. A breath whooshes out of me, and I drop my chin to my chest, squeezing my eyes together tight, wanting to put that wall back up in my mind that Rhett just came crashing through. This time, he kisses the back of my neck, lips moving against my wet skin as he whispers, let's go to bed. He stands behind me, gathering our towels while I sit in the draining tub watching the water swirl in a cyclone. A perfect reflection of how I'm currently feeling inside. Shaken up, spinning. Thoroughly not myself, and yet more myself than I've ever felt. Summer? When I glance up at Rhett in all his rugged glory, the tips of his long hair wet and dripping over his toned shoulders, a shiver runs down my spine. He's holding a towel open for me, and all I want to do is go to him. So I do. I stand, feeling the water slip off me like a skin I've shed. Like Rhett somehow scrubbed loose memories and hang-ups with that washcloth. When I step out of the tub, I expect him to drop his gaze over my body, but he takes a deep dive into my eyes. I don't know why I didn't expect him to do that. He's been nothing short of respectful. Is it the reputation? His look? The toe-curling things he says? It seems unfair to me, to think he'd be anything short of a gentleman. Small-town cowboy, rough around the edges with a womanizing reputation, and he treats me better than any man ever has, than any person has. I sigh sleepily when he wraps the towel around my shoulders, but he doesn't leave it at that. He gently dries me, my hair, my neck, my back. He kneels beside me and dries my legs with so much care. I think he dries me better than I usually dry myself. Before he does, place a gentle nip on the cheek of my ass before he stands back up, a boyish grin on his face and a devilish glint in his eyes. Go lie down. He points at the bed, and where I'd usually give him lip, I just go. Because I want to. Because I don't have to fight him anymore. Because I don't want to fight him anymore. When I get to the bed, I flop face down, feeling like I could fall asleep in place on top of the bed, wrapped in a towel. I let my eyes shut, but after a few beats, they flutter open. The towel is pulled off me. I hear the squeeze of lotion and the rasp of Rhett's palms rubbing together. Those warm, callous hands slide up over my bare back, and I moan because it feels good, but mostly because I can't get enough of Rhett touching me the way he does. I feel like I should be the one massaging you. I feel like you're wrong, he husks, and I melt into the bed, soaking up this side of him I didn't even know existed, sweet and tender and swoony. Somehow the fact he looks so rough and tumble makes the swoon more intense. He doesn't look like a soft man, one to pull out pretty words or take you on lavish dates. He is nothing like the man I've been with, and that's a blessing. I love your freckles, he murmurs from behind me, the pat of his finger tracing lines across the expanse of my back. They remind me of all the constellations, like I could draw lines between them and pictures would appear. It's such an oddly worshipful thing to say. I wiggle my toes, hum softly, and tip my cheek against the bed to gaze back at him. Right here, there are two so close together they almost look like one. Like binary stars, I murmur. What are binary stars? His finger tenderly swipes across the spot he's talking about. It's two stars that look like one to us when we see them in the sky, but really they're two. Stuck together by a gravitational pull, always orbiting one another. Kind of like the two of us, stuck together, he muses. It's that thought of us stuck together tumbling through my fading consciousness that leads into the sound of my phone buzzing on the bedside table. Which leads to Rhett taking his hands off me, which leads to my stomach dropping because what Rhett says next is, it says Rob calling. I push up on my elbows and look over my shoulder at Rhett. Why is he calling you? I don't know, I say honestly. However, if I had to guess, it would be something to do with Rhett winking at me before and after his ride tonight. Tonight's event was broadcast, which meant it's feasible that someone would have seen that. That someone being Rob, who used to give me tummy flutters when he called. But right now, regarding the lit screen on my phone in Rhett's hand, all I feel is dread. I don't want to talk to him, I say, flipping over and sitting up, pulling my towel back around myself. It opens up a jar of worms I'm not ready to show Rhett yet. I need to figure out where this is going before I go down that path and expose everything. Rhett pushes the phone at me, his face hard and unreadable. Answer it. I quirk a brow at him, wondering if he can truly handle this. Based on the way he flew off the handle over Emmett, my guess is no. But I'm not in the mood to argue, so I push myself up to the top of the bed to lean against the headboard and take the phone from Rhett's hand. Without looking him in the eye, I swipe the screen to answer. Hello? Rhett flops down on the bed beside me. Summer? Rob asks, his voice polished and smooth. It doesn't make my hair stand on end at all. It doesn't sound rough and sexy like tires crunching on a gravel. Yeah, obviously. Who the hell else would it be? What's up? Is something wrong? Why does something always have to be wrong for me to call you? My face pinches and my eyes roll. A year ago that might have sounded sweet to me. Now it just sounds stupid. You shouldn't be calling me at all. Rhett's head turns in my direction and I feel his gaze on me like a touch. I know, Rob says, though I barely hear him over the rush of awareness Rhett's spurring on in me. Okay, so I stifle a squeal up as Rhett suddenly reaches over and lifts me on top of him. My towel falls away and I'm straddling Rhett Eaton, buck naked, his hands gripping my hips while he looks over my body like it might be his next neck. Sorry, I breathe, trying to not sound as shocked as I feel. I drop my phone. Rhett quirks a brow and then holds one finger up over his lips in the universal sign for shh. I'm momentarily confused, and then his hands push up on my hips as he pushes himself down the bed, lining his face up with my... Wow, okay. So listen, I wanted to talk to you, just check on you, Rob prattles on awkwardly, and it should be awkward for him, even if he doesn't know what's going on right now. I hum, and I let myself shudder when Rhett drags the pointed tip of his... Oh, wow. Okay. Rhett. I try to say his name, but it truly sounds like more of a moan. His strong hands grip... Okay. Yeah, whatever. Rob sounds vaguely annoyed by the mention of his name, which kind of pisses me off, so I swallow my hips. Oh, God, okay. Okay. You'll have to read that part. A protective streak lurches up in me. Rob thinks he can treat me the way he has and then insult Rhett? Continue to make it impossible for me to carry on with my life? Fuck him. You know what he is, Rob? I'm panting now and I'm not entirely sure how he hasn't figured out that I'm not just sitting politely in my hotel room alone. Guess you can be a doctor and still be stupid. Rhett's... Okay. He's a breed that that's man enough to, wow. Excuse me, Rob sputters on the other end of the line, but it's Rhett's wide eyes I'm looking down into. Wow. Ah, Rhett. I click the side of the phone to hang up as I toss it and collapse forward on the bed, bowled over by what feels like a tidal wave of scalding hot water covering me. My body, well, okay. Well, shit, princess. He slaps my ass as I flop down beside him. I hope that was satisfying for you as it was for me. I giggle. I can't help it. I think Rhett Eaton may have just melted a few of my brain cells, a few of my boundaries as well, because that was way, 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 way out of left field for the polite, people-chasing version of summer. It really was. I throw an arm over my face to hide the blush building because of what I just did, what I just said, but also so goddamn rude, Rhett Eaton. He completely ignores my scolding in favor of asking, "Do you think he heard you scream my name?" The glee in his voice isn't remotely concealed. I giggle again and my other arm joins the first, covering my face from what was both an invigorating and somewhat embarrassing experience. God, I don't know. Rhett chuckles, his hands propped up across his bare chest now. He's all smiles as he shakes his head and stares up at the ceiling. I hope so. I think wow. I grin and flop over onto my stomach. I want to dig a hole and crawl in there to hide, but I also want to bust out laughing because Rhett pushes all the boundaries I thought I had. He's not ashamed, more like he's proud of me and wants everyone to know I'm hooking up with him, which is an altogether new experience. I mull that over, feeling him, okay. When he gets back on the bed beside me, he says, "I figured out what the freckles on your back spell." "Oh yeah?" I squeak out, "Yeah, I feel a fine point on my back." "Are you drawing on me?" "No, I'm writing on you." "What are you writing?" I laugh because it's ridiculous. I feel like I'm in junior high all over again. His responding chuckle is low and deep. It makes my stomach flip and my core tingle. You'll have to go look. Rhett sounds so satisfied, so smug, and when I turn and glance at him, his expression is a perfect match. "Fine," I say, clambering off the bed. I pad into the bathroom, the one that still smells like lavender Epsom salts, and turn my back to the mirror. I gave him a curious look as he watches me from the edge of the bed, and then I turn back to see what he's written. He's connected the freckles to say, mine. And God, in this moment, I feel like that might be true. All right, guys, there's a lot I could not read. But do not skip over it. Like, go back and read it, you know. Or if you pause the video or whatever. I have to go back and read it myself. But anyway, it is a romance book, and that's part of it. But this one is extra spicy, I guess. I mean, I've read a lot of romance, and I've read a lot of those kind of things, but even reading between the lines live it's different for me. But we left off on chapter 25, Brett. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.